Today's transformation truth is connection. Now, connection is very important because we are meant to be connected to ourselves and to other people. Just like when the two cells come in and they turn into trillions of cells that make up our human body, well, this body is made up of organs and cells that have specific functions. Well, that's the way society and the universe really works. The challenge is this, is that we live in a disconnected world. Most of us are actually feeling isolated from everyone else. Now, you may be living in a household right now in which you don't feel connected with your parents. You don't feel connected with your brother and sister. If you're married, you don't feel connected with your spouse. You don't feel connected with your children. Well, what kind of life is that when you wake up every day and you feel all by yourself? Now, what about this? What about if you go into work right now and you feel that you're disconnected with everyone around you? Maybe your boss is wanting you to do something that you have no idea where they're coming from. Or perhaps you haven't really met anyone that you can call a true friend. That disconnection is something that is very detrimental to our spirit, but also to our health. In fact, research from the University of California indicates that happiness seems to spread among people with 3 degrees of separation. I know you heard that before, but imagine that. Most of us are seeking happiness, and that relies within 3 degrees of separation of the people around us. But we're never going to discover that unless we can actually connect with them. I want to share with you some of the things that I've discovered that have allowed me to connect with others. Now, as a doctor, I need to make sure that I'm connected with my patients, but I can't do that unless I connect with myself first. So you have to spend time with yourself reflecting upon your own values, your own belief systems. What is it that you're doing it and why you're doing it? Why are you getting up every morning? So let me share with you 3 simple things that will hopefully make all the difference in your connection. The first one is join a networking group. You know, when I first started my practice, I didn't have any patients. In fact, I was in debt and I was just thinking to myself, how am I going to make this work? Well, my father taught me that the first thing we do when we open a new business is join a chamber of commerce. 2 days later after I joined, they had a mixer. 400 people came to that mixer. I came home with 150 cards, and that night I sat up all night long writing letters to each one of them, telling them how nice it was to meet them and invited them to become my patient. Well, 27 patients actually came in that first week, and that allowed me to profit from my first week in business. Well, that's something that makes all the difference because networking groups are very important now. Of course, physical networking groups are there for you, but now that we have social media, you can have Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, so many other ways that you can connect with people on a daily basis. I encourage you to do that because you'll see the difference. The next thing I want you to consider is keep eye contact at all times with everyone you meet. Isn't it funny that sometimes we meet people, we're having a conversation and their eyes are wandering everywhere and we're feeling completely disconnection with the person. Or maybe you're trying to do a presentation, which means a lot of sales for your company, but you are not connecting with each individual in front of you. Now, as a public speaker for 28 years, I can tell you that the first rule of thumb when you're speaking in front of an audience is you connect with individuals eye to eye. When you meet somebody, you shake a hand and you keep that eye contact every single moment. When you do that, that connection is more profound. That individual feels like they know you and they definitely want to work with you, maybe even buy from you. The third thing I want you to consider is clean up your contact list. You know, there's nothing more important than having a clean database. At one point, I noticed that I had about 15,000 people in my database, but many of those people probably I wasn't even close to, or perhaps I didn't realize that there were some people that I had not contacted in a long time. You know, cleaning that database took me almost a week, but it made all the difference in the world because I reconnected with people that really matter. See, I often believe that everyone around you that you need in life to be successful is right there in front of you. The problem is that we don't contact them on a frequent basis. So remember, 3 things I want you to do today. The first one is join a networking group, whether it's physical or whether it's social media. The second one is keep an eye contact on all people at all times. And the third thing is clean up your contact list. When you do that, you're going to connect with the people that really matter. You do these 3 things and now you're going to live your transformation truth for today, connection.